onslaught better than we usually do.
Alright, chums up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Dragons!
Oh my god, he just ran in.
Hey everybody, and welcome back for episode 23 of LFR, the casual podcast for casual players of World of Warcraft, where we make the lore of Warcraft more accessible than Microsoft Game Pass. That's right, for one low monthly price, you can play all the excellent games in the Microsoft catalog. As always, I'm your host, Sirithe, and this week I'm joined by, well, we'll talk about that in a little bit. LFR usually stands for Looking for Raid, but this week it stands for Lonely Feelings Resounding, because this is our first episode without our good buddy Dracoris, and I'm feeling lonely, and I think most of you probably are too. But let's see what else we have to talk about this week. I think it's time for some shout-outs.
You love me! You really love me!
So, we do have a new review this week. We have a new 5-star review from the warcraftradio.com/directory. And this review comes from the always amazing Capo. Capo said, and I'm already laughing at it, I was told if I didn't submit a positive text 5-star review that they would track me down and set Fluffy, my beloved Murloc plushie, ablaze in a manner that would make what Sylvanas did to Teldrassil look like a family campfire in the backyard. So, here we are. Please listen to LFR 3 times an episode, if possible, to ensure you absorb all that great lore commentary they provide us. Fluffy deserves to live. Well, Cap, I think you did good enough to let Fluffy stay alive for at least a few more months until we need another review and we threaten you again. If you want to be like Cap and leave a review, you can do that on your preferred podcast provider or the warcraftradio.com directory. Every review means a lot to us. Well, right now I guess it's just me, but we'll talk more about that when we get to the news. Jeez. And along with our shout-outs, we do have our lovely patrons to mention. So we have a new patron this week, and it's a name you're all very, very familiar with. Even though he left the show as a host because he is super, super busy with his new job, Dracoris is still being amazing and supporting the show as a patron. And he's in the AOTC tier, so now you get to hear Dracoris' name every episode. It'll be almost like he's still here with us. And our other AOTC patrons, we have the always amazing Mud and Gershom. Thank you guys so much for all the support. It means the absolute world to me, especially since I know we haven't put out an episode really since like Christmas, just with everything that happened. I really appreciate it. We are back. I am getting us back on the every 2-week schedule, and we'll talk more about that in just a few minutes. Now, let's see if there's any new news to talk about. So it's been a while since we've had an episode, and a lot has happened in the Warcraft community. We have had, if you couldn't tell by the accessibility gag earlier in the episode, Activision Blizzard King has been purchased by Microsoft, which was huge, shocking news, and probably the only news that was able to overshadow Dracoris' announcement that he had to step away from the show. Bobby just apparently has it out for Dracoris and saved that announcement for just shortly after Dracoris announced he was leaving. So that deal is not final yet. It will take a long time to go final. I believe I saw that it will be like July of 2023 because it has to go through so many different processes, anti-monopoly laws, all that kind of junk. But I am tentatively optimistic about this acquisition by Microsoft. Microsoft is by no means perfect, but they have said that they are trying to focus on diversity, And I do feel like they have actually put a focus on diversity. Their board of directors is, I believe, 50% women. It may be higher. I may be misquoting that, but that's a far cry from what we have over with Activision right now. So, we don't know what the future holds, but I am cautiously optimistic right now. In other news, it feels like 9.2 is getting closer and closer. No official word yet on a release date, but it seems like it's coming pretty soon. And we have had the squashing of in-game boosting advertising, which is only a good thing because maybe I can turn trade chat back on. Probably not, but hey, maybe. And the other news, and the news that I find the most exciting, is that earlier than I anticipated it happening, we are getting cross-faction raiding and dungeons, as well as PvP. And I thought that would be a 10.0, maybe a 10.1 thing. That's coming in 9.2.5. So not only did we find out we are definitely getting cross-faction raiding and dungeons and PvP, which we all, I think, saw coming. Maybe not this soon, but we definitely saw it coming. We are confirmed to be getting a 9.2.5, which I think we all expected. We did get a 9.1.5 and a 9.0.5, which is a little different from the traditional patch cycles. But since we know 9.2 is the last major content patch of Shadowlands, I think it was pretty safely assumed that we'd get a 9.2.5. It seems like pretty much every final content patch of an expansion seems to get a 0.5 patch, but you never know. We are living still in a pandemic, so I am pretty excited for that. So now is usually the time where I would say, let's talk some lore. But we're not going to talk lore this week. I want to talk about the show and where I see this show going and what my plans are for the show right now. As you, obviously, I've taken a solid month break. Dracoris stepping away from the show is definitely going to lead to some changes, but I don't want it to fundamentally change the show. I really like what has been built here, and none of that was possible without Dracoris. Dracoris will act like he didn't do the bulk of the work, but he really did. He did all the notes. He did all the reading. That was a lot of work and a lot of time, and this show would not even be close to what it is now without all the work Dracoris put in. So, just right here, real quick, from the bottom of my heart, Dracoris, thank you so much for what you did and what you've done and the support you're still giving this show. I'm going to do my best to keep it living up to those standards and bring in some of that humor that you were pretty good at as well. I'm really going to have to work on my pun game. It's nowhere near as good as yours. I might have to see if we can put you on the payroll. But I don't want to change the overall layout of the show. I still want to keep it, small-ish lore bites for, explaining the lore to somebody who just isn't following the lore. I don't want this to be super deep dives where we're in depth going into little tiny things. I want to kind of try to stick to, helping grow the greater lore community, basically, and showing the community who may not be into the lore as much how amazing it can be. I don't know where we're going for sure with the co-host yet. I did put out some tweets and announcements on Discord for people to reach out to me, and as of right now, I've got about 10 guest hosts to line up. Some of those just want to do like a one-time thing. Some people want to, see if it's a good fit for the both of us to become the permanent guest host of LFR. And that is what we're looking for. I don't foresee this being a one-person show. I don't think it will work as a one-person show. The show was designed to be more of a discussion. It's more of a, one person does the bulk of the talking and what's going on with said character, said lore event, whichever it is we're talking about on that given week. But there is always a discussion there, especially at the end of the episode. I don't want it to just be an audio recording of Wowpedia. And I feel like that's what the show will become if we go with a solo host. So I'm not announcing any of the guest hosts in advance. Every time a new episode comes out after this one, it's going to be a surprise. There's going to be some familiar voices for everybody, especially people who have been listening to other WoW shows. You'll definitely recognize some of these voices. And there's going to be some voices who haven't really been heard on podcasts before. And I am equally as excited for some of those voices as I am some of these voices that I've personally listened to. I am really optimistic to see where the show will go, and nobody can fill Dracoris' shoes. That's just not possible. But every show has its chance to grow and evolve. And like I said, this show, I don't foresee it changing. I'm not seeing us change the format. We're not going to go into lore deep dives. We're going to stay bite-sized chunks of lore to teach you about your favorite characters, areas, events in this game. But, the give and take is going to change. The flow of the conversation is probably going to change because everybody is different. Every cadence of a conversation is different. I mean, you can go listen to Team Divided, and the cadence of my conversations with Lex is very different from the cadence of the conversations I had over here on LFR with Dracoris. It's just different personalities, and we're going to have to mesh differently. I am going to be looking for the person that is interested in being a permanent guest host that I feel like I mesh with the best, that I vibe with the best, that I feel like it's not going to be a massive learning curve, because that is definitely always a possibility when you get two new people talking, especially somebody like me who's kind of socially awkward and a little bit shy. It's weird for me to do a podcast and be socially awkward and shy, but hey, it's something I'm passionate about and I really love doing it. So, I like I said, I want to try to avoid that. And I think if you go back through our catalog and listen to those first couple episodes and hear where we were and see where we've come, there is a big difference, not only in the audio quality, but just the comfort level we had chatting on each episode. I don't think we ever really talk about this, but the first time Dracoris and I spoke that wasn't in text base was when we recorded episode 1, our Anduin episode. I've listened back to that episode and I don't think you can tell. But part of that is also just on how amazing Dracoris had us prepared with his notes and everything lined out. And he's just a really good guy who's very easy to talk to, which made it really easy for me. And yes, I'm gushing a little bit for Dracoris today. I miss him. I hope you're enjoying the new job, bud. So yes, over the next 2 to 3 months, honestly, based off of how many people have responded. And also, if you are somebody who listens to this show that isn't on Discord, isn't on Twitter, what have you, and you say, hey, I think I want to maybe guest host and see maybe about becoming a co-host for LFR, please reach out to me. You can find me on Discord. You can find me on Twitter. You can email me at the show email. We will cycle you in. It'll take a little bit of time. This show is staying bi-weekly. I also started a new job right after the start of the new year, and it has changed my schedule pretty dramatically. And I'm still going to have to figure out when is going to be the best time for me to do recordings. But so far, everybody that I have planned recordings with is US based. So that makes it a little easier, especially after doing a year of podcasting with somebody from the UK, and that 6-hour time difference could be gnarly sometimes. We made it work, but it was something. It was something. We'll leave that. Especially when we did our lawsuit episode and we had 2 people from the UK and 2 people in the US in different time zones in the US. That was, I'd say that was our hardest thing to wrangle, but we did it. I won't let it be said that we didn't do it. So, yes, back to the plans for the show. It will be 2 to 3 months of guest hosts based off of the amount of feedback I have received. I've got 10 or 11 people. I have to go back through all my DMs and start scheduling these episodes now. But yeah, we have about 10 or 11 people already who have expressed interest in coming on. And we'll, like I said, some of them just want to do a one-time guest host spot. Some of them have expressed interest in maybe going a little further. So, like I said, we're going to see how it goes. I do want to fit in everybody who has reached out, because I was kind of blown away by the amount of people who reached out like right away when I tweeted and posted on Discord. So I do want to try to fit everybody in, and just see where it takes the show. It's going to be different, but the same. That makes no sense, but that's the best way I can explain it. The vibe is going to feel different, but the overall content of the show should be pretty much the same. And also, I do have to announce that while we are searching for a new permanent co-host, I'm going to I am making the decision to put the bonus episodes, at least the traditional debate style bonus episodes, on hold, because I feel like it's the bonus episodes, the way we had them set up, where you're having debates with other people from the community, it doesn't fit as well when it's just guest hosts already on. When we have another co-host and we're back to a more traditional 2 co-hosts and then we bring in a guest, we're going to go back to it. I do love those episodes. I really, really do. But right now it's just, I feel like it would just be whiplash. That's not to say I don't want to put out bonus content. I just do plan to. I haven't fully decided on what that's going to look like yet. It might be more Q&A type stuff. I haven't fully decided, but I will get something put together, because we do still have our amazing patrons who are still helping keep this show going, and just everybody who's listening and has still been supporting this show throughout everything. It means a lot to me, and I want to find a way to give back to you guys, and I think that's how we're going to do it. Also, we did have a big, exciting little event planned for our 1-year anniversary. Dracoris and I did talk about it, and I think we're still going to do it just later on. And Dracoris will probably come back for that, so I don't think I'll say exactly what we were planning on doing yet, because it'll be a bit of a surprise, but you guys will see, and I think you'll like it. So, yeah, like I said, this wasn't going to be a traditional episode of LFR this week. I wanted to take some time, explain to everybody what's been going on. And the other part of the reason this episode took so long to put out is I was going to try to put it out last week, and my poor wife came down with COVID and was quarantined in her bedroom, which is where my computer is. So she just got the clear to go back to work. I'm off today. I'm putting this together now. And then I'm going to try, we'll definitely have an episode in 2 weeks. I might even try to get an episode out next week. I'm going to talk to our first amazing guest host, and we will show you guys where haven't decided what we're going to talk about yet. I'm going to go through the Discord list, and also I'm going to talk to each guest host about what topics we're covering. I'm going to try to keep them off the list we've got in Discord from the suggestions that have come from you guys. But also I want to give each guest host the chance to have knowledge on what we're talking about. Because I feel like, it's going to help them be more comfortable and have a good conversation, rather than I'm just like, hey, thanks Joe S for coming on. That's just a made up name, and I don't even know why it came out of my mouth, but it did. God, solo shows are hard. Anyways, instead of me just saying, hey, insert name here, we're doing this week. I don't really care if you know anything about it. This is what I want to cover, so we're covering. That's not how I want to be, and Dracoris and I very much ran the show as a partnership, and for whoever replaces Dracoris, that's how the show is going to stay. I want to keep it a partnership. I feel like that is the best way to have a successful show when you have two hosts, is to share the work, but share the decision-making process, share everything to kind of create that co-ownership of the show, and it helps the show grow and evolve in different ways. Everybody has a different vision, and it's just, I feel like that's the best way to kind of keep the show from getting stagnant or from resentment setting in between the hosts. So, yeah. Also, if you guys have suggestions you want to see covered, please feel free to let us know. I still have the list on Discord. I'm still going to keep it updated. The other thing, we might not cover big characters, like Jaina probably won't be covered for a while. Sylvanas probably won't be covered for a while, because those are going to be multi-part episodes. And I don't want it to be like co-host A is on for part 1 of Sylvanas, co-host B is on for part 2 of Sylvanas, co-host C is on for part 3 of Sylvanas. These are probably going to be similar in bulk to the Arthas episodes. And it was kind of fun watching Dracoris slowly slip into insanity through the Arthas episodes. I guess, Arthas was the last lore episode we did. I guess the Lich King claimed one final victim, huh? I would do the Lich King voice right here to just tick him off, but yeah, that would just be mean, wouldn't it? Well, I guess it wouldn't be mean. Oh, I lied. Arthas wasn't the last lore episode we did. We did the Il'gynoth Whispers. So the old gods drove him insane. The Void has claimed Dracoris. Maybe we'll save him when we get to Cosmic Disco War. But I think I've probably rambled on long enough. You guys kind of get the gist, and I will be back in 2 weeks at the most with a really, a guest host I'm really excited to record with, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be different. We are going to grow and learn together, and I'm excited to see where this podcast is in about 6 months. So hang on for the ride. Please keep sending in your feedback, especially if there's a guest host you really love, or even if there's one you say, hey, guy, I just didn't like how that show felt. Let me know, because I want to create something that you guys want to keep listening to. I don't want it to be just that I enjoy what I'm doing. I want you guys to enjoy listening to it. We do this for... we do this for you guys just as much as we do it for ourselves. So, if it's one person that says, hey man, I really didn't like that episode you did with so-and-so, but everybody else liked it and I enjoyed it, then yeah, I'm probably gonna look at it a little bit differently. But if I'm getting 6 people saying, hey man, that episode felt bad, then, I know there's something there. But I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to edit this episode and publish it right away, and I will talk to you guys all soon. Just one last time, thank you, Dracoris, for everything you did for this show, for helping get it off the ground, for every episode you poured your heart and soul into, and just for where you've helped grow this show too. I could not have done this without you, and I'm not going to let the show die. And I hope you find it worth your listening time now, and your patron pledge, because you pledged before we even put another episode out, and for all we know, you might just hate the show now. I hope not, but for real, thank you so much, my friend. I look forward to talking to you soon. And to all the amazing listeners of the show, thank you so much for your time, your support. It means the absolute world to me. And I look forward to seeing this journey take its next step. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.
I am very uncomfortable with the energy that we've created in the studio today.